In this particular video, we will look into the details of androecium. Now, androecium is the male reproductive part. Androecium has structures present which are called as stamens. If we look into this particular diagram, all the four whorls are shown it. The first is calyx, second is corolla, and the structure that we are seeing in detail is the male reproductive part, and that is called as the androecium, which has stamens present in it. Now, if we talk of a stamen, then stamen has two parts. The first part is called as stalk or filament, and the second part is called as the anther. So, if we look into a stamen, it will be the stalk or filament, and on this stalk or filament there will be a anther present. So this is stalk and this part is the anther. Now coming to the details of the anther. Now this particular anther usually will have two lobes. So this anther will be divided into two parts, the first part and the second part, and these individual parts are called as lobes. So in this case, we can see that two lobes are there, and that is why this condition is called as bilobed condition. After this, each lobe will have two theca. So this one lobe, it will have two theca. The other lobe again it will be having two theca. So in all there will be four theca which will be present in this anther, and this condition is called as dithecous condition. So in this case we have bilobed condition, two lobes. Each lobe further has two theca. So again the condition is called as dithecous condition. Now, if we talk of the four theca which are present in this anther, each lobe will have two chambers, or we can say that each theca will have one chamber. So, in all there will be four chambers in this anther, and these chambers are called as pollen sacs. Pollen sacs are obviously the structures which have pollen grains present inside them. After this, we come to a term staminode. Now, ideally, any stamen, it should have the stalk which is present and also the anther which is present. Now, if there is a stamen which does not have anther, so in this case, it will be sterile stamen, and this stamen is called as the staminode. Now, stamens can be of different types. There can be cases in which stamens are united with petals, or stamens can be united with perianth. Now, the point to be remembered here is that perianth was the case in which calyx and corolla had no distinction between them. Now, if stamens are attached to the petals, this particular condition is called as epipetalous condition, and the example is brinjal. Second case is when stamens are attached to the perianth, and this condition is epiphyllous condition, and it is present in the case of lily. After covering these two conditions, that is epipetalous and epiphyllous, there can be cases in which stamens are joined among themselves or these are not joined. So these cases can be called as polyandrous condition. There can be Adelphus condition, there can be syngenetious condition. So we will look into the details of these conditions. The first condition that we look into is the polyandrous condition. Now, polyandrous. Polyandrous condition is that case in which stamens are free, there is no attachment between the stamens among themselves, and that is the case of polyandrous. The second case, in polyandrous, there was no attachment, the stamens were free, and if stamens are attached, that is the second condition that we talk about, and this can be divided into two types. The first can be Adelphus condition and the second can be syngenetious condition. Now, as we looked into the structure of the stamen, there were two parts. The first part was the stalk or filament, and the second part was the anther. Now, if stalk of different stamens are joined, so this is the one stalk, there are some other stalks, and if these stalks are joined to each other, this condition is called as Adolphus condition. So, stalks will be joined, but anthers will be free. The second condition is the syngenaceous condition. In syngenaceous conditions, the anthers will be fused to each other, will be united, but stalks will be free. So it is just opposite. So the first condition, that is the Adolphus condition. So in this we will see that stalks are united. Now further, this Adolphus condition can be monoadelphous, diadelphous or polyadelphous. Now if filaments which are united, they form a single bundle. So filaments form a single bundle, it will be called as monoadelphous condition, found in China rose. If filaments are united into two bundles, this will be called as diadelphous condition. And if filaments will be united into bundles more than two, there are more than two bundles, this condition will be called as polyadelphous condition. The first was present in China rose, diadelphous was present in the case of tea, and polyadelphous is present in the case of citrus. The second case is the syngenaceous condition. As we talked about it earlier, that in syngenaceous condition, filaments will be free, but anthers will be united. After this, there can be a condition in which there is variation in the length of filaments within a flower, and most common examples of this condition is the salvia and the mustard.